God's people are resilient and have been called in such a times as this to take the last warning to the world. This is their message. I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. And I heard another voice from heaven, saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Revelation 18, 1, 2, and 4. These verses anticipates a day when the second angel of Revelation 14 will declare the fall of Babylon again, and add a note on the corruptions that have been engulfing the many organizations that make up Babylon. Here, the deplorable state of the religious world is described. The people's hearts and minds will grow more resistant to the truth with each rejection, until they become firmly rooted in an infidel way of life. They will continue to violate one of the Decalogue's precepts in spite of God's warning, until they are moved to punish those who uphold it. As the churches adopt spiritualism's teachings, the restrictions placed on the carnal heart are lifted, and the profession of religion is transformed into a veil to hide the lowest transgression. The influence of wicked angels will be felt in the churches as a result of a belief in spiritual manifestations, since it opens the door to seducing spirits and devilish doctrines. In this prophecy, it is stated about Babylon that her sins have reached into heaven, and God has recalled her transgressions. Revelation 18, verse 5. She has reached the full extent of her guilt, and she is going to experience devastation. However, God still has a people in Babylon, and these faithful ones must be exhorted so that they do not share in her sins and get none of her plagues prior to the visitation of his punishments. Thus, the movement represented by the angel descending from heaven, illuminating the earth with his brilliance, and wailing powerfully with a loud voice to proclaim Babylon's sins. The third angel's message will be broadcast. The Lord will use lowly tools to guide the minds of those who dedicate themselves to his service when the time comes for it to be provided with the greatest power. The unction of his Spirit will qualify the laborers more than academic training from literary schools will. Men of prayer and faith will be compelled to leave with a holy zeal and speak the words that God gives them. Babylon's misdeeds will be exposed. The terrifying effects of enforcing religious practices through state authority, the spread of spiritualism, and the covert but quick rise of false religious power will all be revealed. These stern warnings will stir up the populace. Numerous people who have never heard words like these will listen. They are astounded to learn that Babylon is actually the church, which fell due to her mistakes and sins and rejection of the gospel that was brought to her from above. As people approach their former teachers with eager questions, are these facts true? To allay their concerns and calm the conscience that has woken, the pastors tell stories and foretell pleasant things. The popular ministry, like the Pharisees in the Bible, would reject the message as coming from Satan and incite the sin-loving masses to revile and punish those who are preaching it, because many people refuse to accept the mere authority of men and want a clear, "Thus saith the Lord." A sizable segment of people who have declared their belief in the third angel's message but have not been sanctified by obeying the truth renounce their stance as the storm approaches and join the ranks of the opposition. They have become one with the world and adopted its mindset, so when the test is presented, they are ready to pick the simple, well-liked side. As a result, they have come to see things in a very similar way. Men with talent and attractive appearances who previously rejoiced in the truth now use their abilities to manipulate and mislead souls. They turn into their old brethren's most ferocious adversaries. These apostates are the most effective devil's agents when commandment keepers are taken before the courts to defend their religion because they falsely accuse them, misrepresent them, and use rumors and insinuations to incite the rulers against them. The servants of the Lord will have their faith tested during this time of tribulation. They have consistently issued the warning while relying solely on God and His Word. They are compelled to speak by the Holy Spirit of God working within their souls. They started carrying out their responsibilities without coldly analyzing the effects of speaking to the people the message that the Lord had given them, because they were filled with holy zeal and had a strong sense of the divine drive within them. They haven't considered their short-term goals or tried to protect their reputations or lives. However, when the onslaught of criticism and opposition hits, some will be prepared to scream in alarm. Had we known the repercussions of our comments, we would have kept quiet. They are surrounded by obstacles. They are subjected to strong temptations from Satan. They appear to be unable to complete the work they have set out to do. They face the prospect of being destroyed. They no longer have the same zeal, yet they are powerless to change. They then run to the Mighty One for strength as they realize how completely powerless they are. They are conscious of the fact that it was not they who spoke the warning. but rather His. God put the truth in their hearts, and they will be unable to hold back from sharing it.